guys, welcome back to Articulate with Steve McJones. This one's fun. This is a good one. This week we have Alexa Ray and Jake Lipinski on to talk about their chaotic conundrum of a relationship and how it formed, how it started. These guys have known each other for years. They have really good chemistry, but again, it's also very chaotic. I've hung out with them a few times, met them in the comedy scene, so obviously very interesting individuals. They actually have their own podcast, Hot Singles Near You. Very fun, very good time. They have like sound clips and everything. They actually have a whole recording studio, which they let us use for this episode. So this is probably going to be the nicest sounding episode of Articulate that you'll ever hear, and I'm sorry about that, but enjoy it while you got it, you know what I mean? But very fun. Jake Lipinski is like a lizard guy. I don't know what that's about. He goes to schools and shows people his snake and like whips it around and everything. I guess snakes and lizards and other things. He's one of those guys. And he does stand-up, which is awesome. But yeah, very fun dynamic between the two and a very fun and chaotic episode. So please keep all hands, arms, and legs inside the ride at all times. And enjoy your ride. I don't want people to track you down. It's cool. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I got Jake Lipinski and Alexa Ray here for a very interesting episode that took some phantom power, a couple of dragons, and a wizard. Today, I wanted to start by talking about, well, first of all, we all met in the comedy scene, which is cool. It was really fun. First time, I think, was at 2 Street. And then I heard that you guys had like 5 podcasts that you know, not 5, but there's a history of podcasts.
We potted before. We had a podcast in the pandemic that was too good to be released.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Can
the
never be
original.
seen.
No, the lost tapes. We still have them, but they're lost.
Hopefully forever. Well, yeah, so when I brought it up, the idea, the original concept was the relationship between you two and kind of how that formed and like how it led. Honestly, I've got questions about that. But I wanted to start just like basics, like where'd you grow up, and then kind of like when the paths crossed and fun stuff like that.
Should you start or should I start?
Obviously, you should start.
Okay, so Alexa and I are from Seymour, Connecticut,
Uh-huh.
a small, sleepy town where no crime happens in New Haven County or Fairfield County.
No, it's New Haven.
It's
County.
New Haven County. Beautiful
Yeah.
town.
It's fine.
Very safe, though.
Okay.
Like nothing bad. Like you know how some people have like harsh upbringings. Like objectively, we had a not harsh one. I mean, besides our families, but like the.
I mean, like, there's
trauma.
the hardest drug is like weed, except for like 3 kids in the town will do like hard drugs. But you know, it's like a relatively
Kinda so,
friendly
like,
place to grow up.
About what age you start drinking, smoking type of thing in that town?
Early, like 14, 15.
No, you started earlier than me. I didn't really get drunk until like 17, maybe, like end of high school.
No, I remember my freshman year of high school when I was on the bus. The girl who's a senior on the bus, she's like, everybody in this town loses their virginity when they're 15. And I was like, okay, that's the benchmark. And I did, so.
Yeah, you
There you
did.
go.
You-
That's
It's kind of
you
gross.
won.
Yeah, but I think that is like a good benchmark to tell what a town is like when people start drinking and smoking in the town generally, or the individual that you ask. It's a good benchmark to tell about them.
It's a little white trashy, but very nice.
Yeah,
And we met my freshman year of high school.
my sophomore year.
Well, why did we meet? Why?
Well, we met because we were both scene kids. I don't know if you're
do you know about
familiar
scene kids?
with the term.
Is that what's scene versus emo?
It's very similar.
Very
No, there's
there's a distinct.
no.
Wrong.
There's a very distinct difference, which is that emo kids cut themselves
Okay.
and were
Okay.
depressed. We're scene kids. We were doing that look, but
Okay.
we were like, no, we're just having fun.
More straight edge also.
We were very straight edge
Often.
also.
That's the worst type of emo person
Yeah, it
I've
was
ever heard of in
bad.
my life.
Yeah, no, we were bad
we
people.
were really, and by the end of that year, I guess stopped because I guess I started drinking later.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't actually straight edge. I didn't like the people who were actually straight edge. I just liked the look. I wanted my hair to be purple.
Do they
you know.
call it scene because y'all done seen the emos? I'm so sorry.
I think it's because I actually have no idea.
I
what the
don't know
word
why
is.
it was
Because
called scene.
it's you're literally like making a scene
We're the
that you're not even the emo kids.
I
You
think
were like we're the scene kids.
That checks out.
So stupid.
Yeah,
it was
'cause-
very stupid.
Warped Tour.
Yeah, Warped
Hell yeah.
Tour.
I never
Hell
went.
yeah.
I never went. My parents
Bamboozle,
went
all
alone.
I've been
that
3
shit.
times. I
Yeah.
got knocked down in a mosh pit. It's so fun. It's bad. Look at me. I get torn apart in a month.
This kid's not seen. Where's his hair? Like,
exactly.
So, because we were scene kids, your friend, who I guess I won't name.
We can say his first name. It's very ordinary.
Brandon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. That's why I was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
He had dark hair, but then he had this like blonde streak through it.
You could only be talking about one person.
Yeah. And my friend, Natalie, who I will say her name because fuck that bitch.
Oh, dirty ass bitch.
She was like, oh, this kid's hot. Let's go talk to this kid. And the three of them were kind of a package deal. So it was like me and my two girlfriends and them and the three of
And
there was like a whole little
I knew Natalie
click.
and was in love with her from 7th grade.
right.
Oh, wow.
Because she latched onto me much earlier
Right.
and then stopped talking to me out of the blue.
Succubus.
The plot thickens.
She was such a succubus, this Natalie. I hope she listens and I could date her in the future.
We were best friends, and she left for college without saying goodbye to me. So
Oh!
So that's why we're not. You're just going all out on. Okay, all right.
So anyways, so you know that's that
Should
was
we
the
read-
initial interest, and then I was
Should
trying
we read
to
her address on the pod?
no.
All right, never mind on that.
Basically, then I tried to get with Jake's best friend
Mike.
for a very long time, unsuccessfully,
That's how it goes.
thwarted by Natalie. Actually,
Yeah, she scooped in. 'Cause
Really?
As soon as
Yeah.
she saw that she wanted something, she's like, actually, that's what I want now.
right.
No.
She was one of those
So she
chicks.
ditched the guy with the blonde streak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she had a brief run at you. I mean, she just, she was just.
She was having fun.
Yeah.
What did
Keeping
she
it
say
fun.
about me? What did she said? When I grow up, she's like, yeah, you're gonna be hot when you're 25. Like I think
She said that to you?
I think she said that to you, and then
No,
you relayed
DJ said that to me.
DJ was talking about me.
No, DJ was talking about me. I don't remember anybody talking about
That's
you. I don't
interesting.
Who said that
I
about
say
me?
that to anybody under the age of 10 that I
You're gonna be so hot.
You're
when
gonna
you're
be so
25.
hot. Don't even worry about it.
Who's this guy?
Yeah. But cool. No, that's interesting.
so we
Yeah.
met in the scene.
In the scenes, so well, I definitely want to get into that a little bit. What drove you to the scenes? So as like, was
Angst.
there? Yeah,
Girls.
a lot of angst. Well, and that's girls. Okay, that's
Angsty
fair.
girls.
Hell
Girls
yeah.
going through divorces.
No, because I mean, like for me, I mean, I actually transferred to public schools in 5th grade.
Okay.
So it was like everyone had a head start on me with like the friendship thing,
Yeah.
and so I just was kind of like an observer. With
Were
them.
you homeschooled or were you at a private school?
Private school? It was like a Catholic one,
Oh,
dude.
thank God, I
okay.
thought you were fucking weird for a second.
That explains it all. Like,
Yeah. I think the Catholicism explains a lot more about me because I didn't even say it. It's Catholicism, if
Yeah.
you want to know. But I wanted to bring like even younger like school stuff. I know you guys didn't meet until then, but because I know Jake is, I don't know how much Alexa is into it, but like the fucking around type of stuff that you do at school, like in Catholic school, there were times during lunch where we would just mix a bunch of shit and see who could eat like the nastiest
Oh, yeah.
Oh
combination of
yeah.
Oh, we did that.
In elementary school, there
Yeah.
was one girl who did that specifically.
Okay, one girl, and
Like,
did
she
get
was
any
known
money
for it.
or they were just like, I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
It was more, street cred than money.
street cred.
You
No,
know.
that's the thing. I used to like they had these half tires that you could like crawl under out in the playground, and we would spit on the side of them and race spits. That's what we did for fun out there. Actually,
that
and-
sounds like some Seymour shit, honestly.
Yeah.
yeah. You guys know the juvie story that I went to juvie, right?
Yes.
Right.
You don't know that one.
I don't know this story.
He's been
Um,
doing it on stage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing because fuck you. But
Go see him live, all right?
Sorry, I missed
See
you.
him on tour.
There's actually a whole podcast episode about it too. But
Okay.
I went to juvie because I made a tweet about not necessarily about school shootings, but like joking around the topic of school shootings.
Interesting.
But here's the thing: in 3rd grade, I got in trouble because what I did was I got a water bottle and just filled it with the nastiest shit I could find outside of poop. So it was just like dirt, cigarette butts, like
Okay.
dead animals.
Thank you for specifying.
What kind
there
of
was
dead
no
animals?
poop.
No.
Yeah, well, because
chicken
poop
bones?
is too easy. There might have been like a little poop in there. But here's the thing: is I kept it in my backpack, and the thing was I called it a stink bomb. And I got pulled out of school then, too, in 3rd grade.
Steve McJones has a bomb.
For having a stink bomb. In 7th grade, I got in trouble because I had a laser pointer, but it was in the shape of a gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are they making those? That seems like more of a corporate
It was a different
problem.
time.
That's a good question. I didn't even question that. I was so wrapped up in the
I know
idea.
why a kid would buy one.
But here's the cool thing. Like, the trigger wasn't even the laser. That was like a shock thing. And the laser pointer was like the thing on the top that you would like cock it back with. So it was like, yeah, look at this laser pointer. And then you give it to one of your friends. And, like, and then, it was a good time.
So multiple gun instances.
Super
Steve.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it's over. I don't know where it's going, but it can't be leading to anything good.
I don't think you get suspended. I think you just go to jail now.
Yeah, no, I luckily I went to juvie the first time, so I didn't get,
That's good.
too terribly butt raped, but just because they
How
were
long
all
were you there
so young,
for?
they didn't have a. I was there for 3 weeks.
Okay.
That's
a long time.
It's quite a for.
And you were kind of like low key, like not to be mean, but like the pussy at the juvie, basically. Like, because everyone else was doing like real stuff, and you're like, I made a tweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what I don't know. One of the original jokes that I would tell when I came out of there.
Yeah,
I don't use it anymore, but it's like there was literally a guy who was in there because he's like, yeah, I mean, this guy stole $20 from us, so me and my buddy stole Zans and shot up his house. I'm like, Jesus Christ. there was another guy who was like, yeah, my mom was being a bitch, so I had to beat her up, but it was like her fault though, and I was like, what the fuck?
Right, you're not the same as those kids. Why are you
like,
there?
I tweeted. There were people that tried meth in there, which was kind of cool. But
did you try meth?
No,
Okay.
no, not in there. They had tried. But they tried meth on the outside world, came in and let us know what meth was like, which was really cool. But yeah. It was very interesting. I wasn't. See, that's the thing is like you would think that I'd be like the pussy in the situation, but there were pussies. There were like
bigger pussies.
Yeah, there were bigger pussies.
You could hang. You know how to hang. And you
I just kind of blend in. I don't know. I'm kind of quiet guy, I guess, sometimes.
I don't know what everyone's like. I don't know want to know what this guy did.
Yeah.
You just lie and shit.
It's funny. I told the juvie story on stage one time, and Romy's like, I had no idea about all that stuff. But yeah, so that's what I did for fun in school. What did you guys do?
I mean, I was wondering why you do comedy. Now I have a much better sense.
Exactly.
I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did the food mixing.
I was
kind of a boy chicken
I was a nerd.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the chicken nugget.
That's really why I brought it up, because Lipinski, first of all, brought back table topping, which I fucking forgot about.
We should start bringing back at open mics.
Out on the street while people are smoking. Can you imagine how mad like any real comedian would get if you did a tabletop?
If you tabletopped any comedian. Yeah, and then they broke their neck on concrete. Yeah, that'd be.
What is a tabletop?
Tabletopping is a classic little prank. Alexa doesn't like pranks. That's the thing about her.
I hate pranks.
Hate pranks, hates humor.
Stop the pranks! Did you say I hate humor?
Doesn't have fun. Not a fun person.
Uh-huh.
No, so you and your buddy. It's an unspoken agreement where you kind of make eye contact and they go and crouch behind somebody. This is generally on a hang happening on like a grassy field. Or an outdoor hang.
Right, recess, like you would have like a soccer field or something.
And this is at Seymour High School. We would go to football games. Okay. There was this like side.
It was
field.
the football games. That's what.
So all the losers were all watching football, and then all the emo and scene kids, we were all smoking cigarettes by this other field, and then tabletopping each other. So someone would crouch down, and when you see them behind your legs, like behind your knees, and when you see them do that, you push them over.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that.
Yeah, you would.
I would call that bullying.
Well, and it hurts your feelings when it happens to you, and then you're like, well, now I have to do this to somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's cycles of abuse.
Okay. I don't agree with the first one, but after that, every tabletop after that is,
right.
is absolutely necessary.
Okay.
And then chicken nuggeting.
Yeah, then we would do chicken nuggeting. I was talking about this the other day. Chicken nuggeting. This is when you're in class, somebody sneakily takes your backpack, turns it inside out, and
that one's great.
And then puts all your stuff back in it, and then zips it back up.
No, that's hilarious.
So it just looks like a chicken nugget.
Because that doesn't like. I don't know, that one isn't as bad to me. You're not gonna like get hurt. You don't steal the person's stuff. I like that.
It's way ruder because you just go to grab your pencil and you're like, oh, I'm a bitch. Like, you've been disrespected in front of everybody. I don't know if there's any tag, but then whoever did it would maybe say, you got nuggeted or something. I don't know if that was part of it.
Nuggeted. That was.
I feel like the chicken nugget part you're making up. Like, is that really what it was called?
That's what it was called.
But here's the thing: is like, feel like the word chicken nugget was like funny to say back then. People, have you ever seen Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
Of course,
yes.
I have.
he would say cheese. There was a character that would say cheese.
That was classic.
Potato. It's like those were just funny. Nugget is like just one of those things.
Right. That's true.
Which is just a different language. Can you imagine the world that we lived in? Anyways, I don't want to get too much. I get really blown away by things a lot of the time.
But that's like the town we grew up in, was tabletopping, chicken nuggets,
and
Seymour
kids.
High School.
Well, and so that's what I'm so...
it was a really small high school.
What age did you decide to become seen, and what made that like even prevalent for you?
Do you know that? I know exactly. It was...
he knows the moment.
It was the 8th grade
Greatest
dance.
day of my life.
It was the 8th grade dance. Because me and all my friends who were doing the scene thing in middle school, we were just not talking to any girls, right? It was just Deadsville, like it was very dry. And then we went to the dance that 7th graders and 8th graders can show up to.
Oh, that's a big one.
And we found out that all the 7th graders knew who we were because we were those emo scene kids.
Oh,
and then they all talked to us at the dance, and then from then on, it was just pussy, 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 nonstop.
Yeah, you were doing it specifically for pussy. I'm a true scene, as a woman, I'm a true scene.
You were in it
I
for
was
the
just
music.
angsty. Yeah, I think I had weird friends in middle school. Like, I think in elementary school, I was very, like, plain vanilla, and then in middle school, I started to get angsty. I started to hang out with weirder kids.
Okay.
Listen to...
It just kind of happens naturally.
Yeah, it just happens. You dye your hair. Your friend cuts their wrists. It's very natural.
That's You have an emo friend, and you think that gives you the right.
Yeah, you start buying leggings with stars on them. I don't know what it is exactly.
See,
There's a sale on bows.
My friends who cut themselves, they weren't doing the emo thing. They just looked normal. But
I'm just saying it all kind of leads together, and then...
Well, that's what yours wasn't natural, so we don't even have to talk. We know why you went see it. We
Alyssa,
understand.
Amanda, Morgan, Caitlin. Oh my God, Haley.
I guess more in high school though. It was like, oh, the guys are doing this to get pussy, and this is the look I can do to get attention. Also,
it was the first time girls ever gave us attention, so we're like, we have to just do that.
Attention-seeking behavior.
Sure. Okay. Good. No, I'm glad. Yeah. And again, comics. It makes sense. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I did also want to cover in your first episode that I listened to. You guys had talked about the cafeteria and how they would like assign seating. I want to talk about the authoritarianism of schools. Like, what is that?
It was a weird amount. I don't know if it was just our town, but there's a weird amount of authoritarianism going on.
I'm pretty sure it's every single town. Well, maybe not every single town. I can't say that.
I mean, kids are monsters. Don't get me wrong. So you need to use a heavy hand sometimes, but it was very strict. It was very weird.
Like, we didn't have reason. We were just having fun at lunch. We were just being
That's
noisy.
the only place. Yeah, that's the only place.
But also, we have to impress. Seymour is a very small town, and the school was also very small.
Okay.
So it was maybe only like 300 kids.
Yeah.
Which made it weirder.
Oh, okay. Mine was 400 like for my class, so that's kind of pretty big.
No,
No,
that's
ours is
like
like
the whole
100
school.
per class.
Okay.
Maybe 150 per class.
You guys all knew everybody in the school then. at that
Yerp.
point.
Yeah. By high school especially.
That sounds insane, actually. No.
But it is kind of an equalizer by the end of high school, because there were kids who were jocks and there were kids who were like emo or whatever. But it was just like there's only 100 of us.
So you kind of got
Your
to deal with
senior
everybody.
year.
We just kind of, it was pretty chill.
Everybody was friends with everybody. Kinda.
Sure. Yeah, I had a buddy who went to Fenwick, which was like a Catholic school, and it was the same type of thing that, they had much smaller classes, but it seemed like everybody knew each other, and you had to put up with people, and at that point you might as well form a some sort of relationship.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can I just say I hate this. I hate the maple pear Bud Light seltzer.
The maple pear. Oh, okay. You're still on the maple pear.
And they're actually your sponsor for today, right?
Yeah.
Bud Light seltzer.
Bud Light seltzer.
Full
can we
flavors.
do that? Will I get sued?
No. You're allowed to do that.
Really?
Yeah, we do it all the time.
I don't know if you're allowed to.
I don't know if you're
You're allowed to if no one listens to
They're our sponsor.
Who's gonna stop us? Is the question. That's interesting. Yeah.
Bud Light.
You may not want to.
Come after me, Bud
Mr.
Light.
Bud.
We want to make corporate enemies.
Cute little flannel cans.
Yeah,
though.
so that's what really drew. If I wanted to get prepped for the podcast and it's fall season, why not? It's hot as shit. Who cares? And I saw that and I was like, you know what? Let's do a little something special. It could be like a taste test thing for the. So the flavors are maple pear, pumpkin spice seltzer. What is this one? Or the apple crisp and then there's the toasted marshmallow.
I'm about to crack my toasted marshmallow.
Yeah, that's the one I'm really interested in.
Apple crisp much better than pumpkin spice.
That's apple crisp was good, but it's still they still kind of ruined it. You know what I mean? Like it's still like a little like.
Something's wrong. I'm not quite sure what.
They wanted to put depth in it, and it was just.
Can I have a sip of your
Just
apple
to
crisp?
reiterate, we did not get paid for this at all. It's just quality content.
We
You
can
still
share
got the
drinks.
herp, or?
Yeah.
Oh. And now we all have herpes.
That's something. That's something.
I got herpes just from watching him drink that. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like because you guys were also talking about a teacher that like dated a student back then too. It's just like yeah, I just but like the whole high school teacher scenario is weird because a lot of the teachers, at least at my school, were people that grew up in that hometown, never left.
Oh,
and then had to,
townies,
like,
yeah.
We had those.
and then they had to like figure out a way to make themselves like a dominant figure in society, like in the small town society. So they're like,
Yeah.
I can't get respect from anybody else in the town, but I'm gonna get respect from these fucking kids.
Right.
You know, Oh, they talking too loud at lunch? All right, boy, girl, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
One time,
That
they
is
did
so
it like,
weird.
Yeah, one time they did it randomly, and then me and my buddy got assigned next to each other. Like it was like random. And then the teacher came. She's like, I don't remember. There's no way we could have sat you next to each other. I'm like, yeah, but you did. Though.
It's alphabetical. We have the same last name.
It's like, why? What is the power trip there? You want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah.
There was this teacher, there's these two teachers that were married, and they showed up at our high school. And then the wife was like the art teacher, and the other guy was like a math teacher. And she slept with the football coach.
Oh.
Yeah. And they did it. Here's the rumor. I don't know. High school rumors are so weird, but they did it like in the shed at like the football field, you know.
Right. That could
Why,
be completely
though?
made
You
up.
know?
That could be a rumor.
like
I believe it though.
But that's the thing, though. The fact that you could believe it is enough to be like, what the heck? Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
we know enough teachers now. They're freaks, right? Like, yeah, they're like they're our age, and they're just half of them are doing open mics with us. And like,
right.
No, that's really interesting. Like, it's a good point. Like, we're gonna actually see like the type of people we know grow up and become teachers.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who's a teacher. Think that she's a good person, but I'm sure there are plenty of. Yeah, I have a few others in mind. But I was thinking about, we had an art teacher who was the mom of basically our art teacher in middle school, who was terrible. Her son was a history teacher in high school, and he was very creepy. So I don't know. Why would you want as a family to be, I don't know, teachers in the school? Their whole deal was weird.
That's what I'm saying. Our town is like a time capsule in a sense because like
Yeah.
it's like the type of town where if you're a townie, you like care about how the high school football team goes. That makes your day. Oh, slurp it, slurp it, slurp it. Get that pumpkin spice.
Oh shit, that's
Steve
good.
got pumpkin spice
You
in
like
my
it?
rug.
Yeah, I like that shit. That's good shit. I'm sorry. I
Like
didn't
maybe
mean-
some fake sugar.
Yeah, well, of course it's gonna be fake shit. I told you the chemicals.
Just
they don't
a
even have color.
specific chemical taste.
They're just like, all right, you see water? Let's pump shit into it. That's the whole thing.
I like the apple crisp a lot more than
the apple crisp was much better.
maple.
Let's try this
the
toasted.
maple, with the maple was gross, and toasted marshmallow going in.
Anyways, I didn't mean to get off topic. Your town is like a time capsule. Is that where
Yeah,
like
that's
everybody's-
something-
Fashioned. It's old fashioned. It's got
Yeah.
old fashioned values.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
People still like get married right out of high school. People
Oh,
still
wow.
settle down right away.
Can you imagine?
No.
I could imagine.
Really? Because I moved to a city, so I can't.
Well, no, because like I didn't realize like, yeah, because like my high school girlfriend, like it just felt like why is nobody like intervening? Like why were they treating us like grown-ups? And it's like because half the town would probably be okay if we just like got married when we were 18 and started having kids.
A lot of our people we know from high school have had kids at this point.
A lot,
Really?
yeah.
A good amount, yeah.
Well, so here's my thing: is like coming from a small town like that. This is something we might be able to relate upon, but it's like I have those values in me. You know what I mean? Like I want to settle down and have a family on one hand, and I think it'd be nice and it'd be relaxing and comfortable and everything. But on the other hand, that just seems so boring. You know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is the angst that made me a scene kid, but I
yeah.
am totally rebelled against those values. Like, I'd rather just, like, be rich and travel. It'd be nice to have a partner, but I'm not trying to have, like, a settle down, do the towny thing with kids.
Yeah,
Super
that's
unappealing.
it's weird. Like especially now that I've been in Philadelphia for like probably like 6 months now.
Right, you're a newbie.
Yeah, I'm still. You know, it's still like Because again, I was pretty angsty too, obviously, and
all the threats.
all
Yeah,
the
we know.
threats against
Juvie.
modern society and traditional
Steve the
values.
criminal.
But yeah, I feel oftentimes though, like, because I do love my family, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say that I don't love my family, but oftentimes I would like to just get out and go do everything, but then that just becomes so tiring, you know? So
Yeah.
the comfortable settling down sounds very nice and comfy, but it also sounds like you don't learn anything or experience anything.
It sounds like a prison to me. It sounds absolutely suffocating.
Yeah, like, do I want a
my
woman
biggest
to, like,
fear.
cook and clean up after me? Like, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Oh no, I'd love a woman to come.
Do I
cook
want
and clean up after
progeny
me.
to carry on my legacy? Yeah, sure. But the commitment, it just seems like too much right now.
I'm not scared of the commitment. I'm scared of the. I don't want to be in one place. I don't know, something about freedom and.
Oh,
Well,
and
it's
if my
almost
kids
like I
come out
said,
seen,
like-
I'm hitting them. Yeah, if my kids are seen. Not in this fucking household, all right? There's a little
shit.
pussy.
But I mean, you make a good point though. It seems like you're missing out on experiences if you do that. You're missing out on like life in a way.
I mean, but what I'm describing is also its own trap. There's no, life is complicated. Like, to just travel and be rich, you're missing out on the settled experience.
Exactly.
You're missing out on having children. You're missing out on
Exactly.
all these things you're describing. But
that's what I'm saying is like
I feel like I kind of experienced those, so I'm more interested in the other experience. I
a
think
good
that's what
point.
it is.
Wow, yeah, no, interesting. So maybe it's going through that experience with those values, and then your decision where your actual personality and genetics come in, where you're like, all right, I don't need this right now, or like
Yeah.
I've had this, I'm done with this, let's move on. Or you enjoy it, and some people that's when they get married out
Right.
of school and have kids, and that's fine.
This is something that me and Alexa have in common, though, growing up in Seymour, is that, like, you have to keep this in mind. The whole time we were there, the whole point was just to not be there. Like, when we
Yeah.
were there, we were just like, we cannot wait to leave. We're going to leave as soon as
How
we're
are we
old.
going to get out of
We're
here?
just going to get out of here. And
Yeah.
then, like, when you go back, it's, like, nice for a little bit. But while we're
3
there,
days maximum.
yeah, after
3
3
days
days, you're like, I need to escape. Like, there was this urge to, like, break out. You
I,
had
and
to
I don't
leave.
know what it is. Maybe there's a lot of ghosts in Connecticut. It's possible there's just a spiritual, like, leave, like a feeling of leave. You
Also,
should
everybody
leave.
there is a fucking loser.
Yeah, they all
they're
suck.
They're all nobodies, and they suck. Like,
Yeah, I do love my family, but the town
I hope
itself
so,
sucks.
too. And every adjacent town, too.
Yeah. Oh, so we grew up in something called the Valley.
The Valley.
So our town was
Holy-
very small, but there's also a bunch of small towns around it.
It's Seymour, Derby, Ansonia,
Oxford. Or they count.
Oxford.
I don't know if they count.
Oxford's, but these towns
can't
were the
imagine.
Valley, and there were Valley girls, and there were Valley people, and basically that just means like fucking scumbag, like fucking like, huge piece of shit.
Really?
And I remember Derby was the armpit of the Valley,
Dirty Derb.
Dirty Derb,
Okay.
and Ansonia was viewed as like the ghetto one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, we've had
Shelton. Shelton was the nicer one.
Shelton's in the
I
Valley
can't
too.
imagine the competitiveness of like the jocks that you guys had. Like we were like, oh, we're gonna beat this school, right? Like, is there anything like that? Because we
We
had
were
a
all,
similar
but that's what I'm saying.
type of thing.
Also, our sports teams were shit.
Yeah, they
Oh,
they were
okay.
competitive, but it was also like, but shut up, like, come
Yeah.
on, like.
It was just a bunch of closeted gay dudes trying to blow each other in the locker
Good luck
room.
getting into a D3 school. Like,
Yeah, dude, a lot of D3ers at fucking Seymour.
Really?
what are we competing over? It's just
Connecticut
So weird.
sounds wild.
it
guys.
sucks.
By wild, you mean dumb.
It's
Yeah.
depressing.
And all those factors combined kind of make you want to wear tight pants and straighten your hair when you're
Yeah.
15 years old.
Okay, so here's the thing
Yeah.
that I learned to appreciate about like growing up. So I went to college in Athens, Ohio, too, where it's
Ooh.
absolutely nothing out there, like
Yeah.
just dirt. That's what was the fun thing. So like in high school, you had to. The fun thing was going to smoke weed. Like that's
Yeah.
what we
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Dirt
that-
and drug abuse, they go well together.
Absolutely. That was the fun thing to do. And then in high school, I feel like what I learned from that is that I learned to actually make fun for myself. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
actually, because I was bored all through small town high school, and then I got into small town college, and it's like, all right, let me actually, if nothing is going to happen to me, let me make shit happen.
Right.
And I think that is something that I gained from it, but also now that I'm glad that I'm out of it, because I literally last night, for fun, I just walked around downtown Philly, or you
Yeah.
know, like in Center City. Like,
Right.
it was one of my favorite nights that I did, because like there's always something popping. There's always some, just things you can go see and do.
And I think that's part of the motivation to leave. Like, I think that is like my version of making fun for myself. I mean, like, you have to entertain yourself while you're there, but then also to be like, oh, I would like to go do something or be somewhere that's actually more fun. Like, I think, when I moved here, my cousin was like, oh my gosh, you're going to move to Philly on your own. Because Jake followed me a year after.
Yeah,
so
she
I
was
moved
here
here first
earlier.
on my own. And like, they were like, you're so brave. I'm like, I don't know if it's bravery, if what I'm afraid of is being here. Like, I'm not really brave. I just want to go enjoy my life, honestly.
My parents had a very similar response. They were like, wow, you're moving to the big city. I'm like, it's a big city. It's not the
not
big
New York.
city. But no, they're just like, they're stunned. They're like, wow, you, like they were like afraid to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. I think, again, after, at least for me, in my background, my parents are just glad I'm not on, like, drugs
Right.
and doing, like, anything.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you want to do comedy? Yeah, do comedy. I guess that's fine.
Yeah, same here, I think.
I'm glad our parents all had real high hopes for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Seymour, like, the gate for failure is pretty low. You know what I mean? Or, like, you like not much bad can happen to you just as long as you get out, like, not addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
You pretty much crushed it. And then if you get to leave, people, you're like just a fucking winner. You know what I mean? They don't need to know how it's actually going. Like they just like people like I talked to somebody when I went home and they're like, "What? I think you're in like a city now? Like what are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, better than you." Obviously.
Here's the thing about living in the city now, though. At least for me, you know, I have a job as some of us here have a job. No, I was kidding.
Right.
But when I need to take off like PTO, I always have to use my PTO to go back home, like in Ohio. Where my sister, she lived in North Carolina for a while and just moved back to Ohio. So now when she takes vacation, she actually gets to go wherever she wants to go.
Yeah.
Whereas most of my vacation time is.
Well, stop visiting your family. That's number one.
That's the main thing. You're right. Absolutely, just abandon.
Abandon your family. That would be my advice.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
I only use about half my PTO to go back. So.
I mean, that's mainly, I think, what I wanted to cover. I don't know. I guess we could go into a little bit. This actually, like, year two. So in high school, the scene thing happened. Were you seen all the way through high school?
Definitely not. No, for me, it was started freshman year, ended freshman year. But yeah.
Okay.
I think because I was straightening my hair.
Oh, wow.
And I remember the summer of my sophomore year, I went into my bathroom and like gave myself a haircut, and then just had a normal haircut from then on. And we switched from scene to hipster.
Oh.
That's just when you wear flannel shirts, basically, and like cool music.
And drink flannel beer.
Yeah, and it was done by wore normal pants. It was pretty much done after freshman year.
Cool. And then
they're still pretty tight.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Alexa
don't
seems
know if that's true. I don't think I was ever like consciously so. See, I guess freshman year and sophomore year were more seen, but then junior year I also dated a guy who was into like heavy metal music, so it was still like that adjacent kind of crowd, you know.
Absolutely.
But I feel like
we had the same friends the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just we kind of grew out of it.
Okay.
yeah, I think we kind of grew out of it. I would say more in college. That's when I switched. We started listening to rap music,
Okay.
Hell,
That's the
and that
big-
really
That
changed.
converted you to rap.
Yeah.
She would like hated it at first, then eventually you're like, actually, it's good.
Well, I had to like smoke weed also.
Yeah,
so
after
those
that.
things go hand in hand, right? I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic. I could
Totally
get
a topic.
into. I would love to get into sometime. But I did want to drop a bomb. Jake said I could ask about it.
Totally.
Oh God.
You guys made out in high school?
Yerp.
Well, in college too.
Yeah, we made out.
Oh, a couple of times.
We made out 3 times. We made out, or a handful of times.
Did we make out 3 times?
No, but we made out in my house in high school.
Yeah, I
which
remember
I think
that
you were
one.
bored. I think. No, because I
Just
remember.
felt like the thing to do.
I remember not having plans, and you were the friend with the car.
Yeah, I was
So
always
you-
very independent.
You were like,
hardworking.
hey, do you want to like hang out tonight?
Yeah.
And it was like, my best friend Alexa, just come to hang out. Is she gonna make out with me? And I was
See,
like,
you did think about it.
Immediately, I was like, well,
Yeah.
no. And then we did.
And
we
I was
made
like,
out.
well, he's thinking about it, so yeah, I'm
Okay.
kind of bored. Why
and then
not?
and then not long after
Try it
that,
out.
yeah. And then you were just
Wasn't
doing that
for
to
me.
make Mike jealous.
Okay.
And I started dating Abby soon after. And then
Maybe.
in freshman year of college, so we also went to the same college.
Okay.
I recruited him.
I
He
remember
follows me everywhere.
Sounds like
I was still dating my high school girlfriend, and people just kept saying, "You should be dating Alexa,"
Including our parents.
including our parents.
Like, for the longest time. I'm
They were
like, can
just
you
like,
guys
"Why aren't you dating
stop?
Alexa?" And I'm like, "I
Yeah.
don't really want to." And then I was like, but then they were like,
don't
they give
really
you like
want
college
to.
advice. They'll give you college advice. They're like, well, if you never know, you'll never know. So you got to find out, or you will
Don't
think
die
about.
with regrets.
Don't. So I'm like, all right. So I broke up with my freshman girlfriend. I mean, Alexa made out a few times,
Yeah.
and we decided it would ruin the friendship if we banged.
I think I scared you off.
I think, yeah. No, I think it was definitely like, if we bang, the friendship will be over. Because I'm
probably.
an immature little bitch. And I don't handle rejection well. So we were just like, let's keep it platonic.
Absolutely.
And then I think we made out one more time, and then we're like, that's it. That's done. Okay. And then never again. And then...
Yeah, the last time I think was like, we're sure though, right? And then it was like, no, we're sure.
Incest. Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool though. Because that's what, like, most people the reason I was asking is because, like, it's usually hard for people to be friends after something intimate. And I guess, making out isn't necessary. It's not banging, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. That's probably the line, I think. Like, if you make out with your friend and you're like, probably not, then, like, you don't need to fuck to find out.
Sure.
And so many people in college do that, where they ruin friendships by banging unnecessarily. And we just skipped that one.
Yeah. I mean, we still have a very intimate relationship. We lived together for a long time.
Yeah,
I think of him as kind of my ex-husband.
Yeah, we like divorced.
Yeah, because we went from, like, maybe brothers or, like, best friends to then, like, a sexless married couple, know?
COVID. Because I feel like our meals were semi-separate before COVID.
Not at all.
They were a little bit more, and then by the time COVID happened, it was just completely entwined.
I've cooked for him the whole time.
Yeah, she would cook, but who did the dishes? That's what I'm
you
saying.
did the dishes.
We were married. We were married.
Wow.
No.
Division of labor. It's
and then,
very
and then
important.
when she moved out, we were like, should we get a lawyer, or should we just decide what to do with all this stuff? And then we went to the kitchen, like, you take that, that's yours, you take that.
Wow. It was a little sad, yeah.
No, that makes me happy, though, because if I ever just decide to, I could just get one of my good friends, and we could just live together for the rest of my life. That sounds like a good deal to me. It's like...
I mean, it wasn't bad. The normal married spats,
Yeah, I feel like compared to, like, other people, like, very...
Oh,
very
yeah.
It was pretty low conflict household. Like, my ex-girlfriend, her roommate, there was just constant bullshit going on.
Exactly.
And we just really didn't have, like, that type of stuff going on.
I think that's one of the most, at least for me, like, within relationships, as long as it's just not bullshit, that, like if I'm thinking about the conversations we had after we hang out for an extended period of time, I know that I do not want to hang out with that person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's cool that you guys got to do that and experience that, and gives me hope for, maybe gives listeners hope for, like, relationships that they have, and, like, work some shit out, If you have a good relationship with somebody, don't let that...
Listen, Alexa and I are perfect, and we're an anomaly, and you should bang your friends
can't
to find
do it.
out. Yeah, if you're listening, bang your friends.
It's only us. No one else can have a platonic friendship.
We're perfect.
Yeah, we're perfect people.
All right. Amazing. Yeah. No, so, all right.
That's the takeaway.
Bang your friends. Bang your family. Bang everybody. It's fine. That's the takeaway for this episode. I think
so.
Yeah, I wanted to wrap it up. You guys got anything to plug? I know, obviously, hot singles for you. Is that
hot singles near you?
That's what it is. That's the podcast.
That's our podcast. Go see Jake on tour.
Yeah.
He does much more stand up than I do.
I got a show on the 22nd in a park. I got a. I think it doesn't have a complete address on the flyer, so I need to ask him about it.
Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know.
Really great.
Okay.
Promo.
Instagrams.
At Jake Lipinski.
Mine is under development, so.
Okay, she's one of these secretive. All right, I got you. It's fine.
Follow, Hot Singles
Hot
Near
Singles
You.
Near You,
Hot
Jake
Singles Near
Lipinski.
You podcast at
Cool.
gmail.com.
Yeah, if you go on my Instagram, you can see the podcast.
Sounds
Come
good.
talk some shit to us.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for letting me record with all your equipment. Hell yeah. Jake actually ended up telling me how that showcase went in the park. And he said it was really cool. He said it was the greatest showcase of his life because a couple of grandmas and aunts and uncles doing stand-up for the first time went before him. He said it was amazing. He absolutely did. And had a great time at the family barbecue. But thanks again, Jake and Alexa, for letting me use your equipment, letting me use your personalities for another piece of beautiful, beautiful content. And thanks for listening to all you people that listen. If there's anybody out there, I think it's just me trapped in here, but it's fine. Check them out on Instagram. Check out their podcast. It's amazing. And I hope you have a great week. Or don't. You do you. It's fine. Thanks again. I love you. Amen. Okay.